So my name is Alexey, and the last topic for today will be KotlinJS. Is it a thing? So let's discuss what the heck KotlinJS is actually, how you can work with it, and is it actually needed for the community. So a little about myself, if you don't know me. So I'm writing mobile and Java stuff in Citadel right now. I'm organizing events like this one, and Java user group and mobile development Latvia. So I'm occasionally speaking at international conferences, and also I'm trying to teach people at universities and stuff. So first, let's start with a bit of the discussion, what Kotlin is, and is Kotlin actually a good programming language tool? Yeah. So let's do a recap. How we can use Kotlin right now. So first, it's really great for Android. Would you agree?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Why? Because Android was stuck in Java 1.6 without Lambda support, with all those pesky on-click listeners that you had to write, and you didn't have Lambdas. It was a pain because there was a lot of events, a lot of publish subscribe stuff, and Kotlin saved it. Yeah. So it's made your code much more elegant. So Kotlin is great on Android. Next stuff. Who can guess what I mean here? No idea? Okay, winter is dead, now is spring. If you can look into the window, you can see it's spring already. And spring so not so long ago, Spring has announced that currently you can build Spring Boot applications with Kotlin. So they've actually implemented a Kotlin drop-down when you create a Spring project from Spring Initializer. You can select, is it a Gradle project, a Maven project, and now you can select, is it a Kotlin project or Java project. So this is actually a huge boost for Kotlin. So now if you want to write a quick server-side RESTful service or something, and you're proficient with Kotlin, you can grab it and everything works, everything's fine. So Spring is on the board for this Kotlin. What next? What this is? Gradle, yes. So actually, there is a Gradle script written in Kotlin, and you can write all your Gradle scripts in Kotlin already, right now. They have a couple of problems, and maybe you've been on Juke when there was a speaker from Belarus speaking about how this Gradle Kotlin works, actually. But this is another great step for Kotlin, because Groovy isn't that great because you don't have control space for autocomplete. And when you write Gradle scripts, it's a real pain to remember all those properties. And you don't know where you're located. Is it a closure inside a closure, or it's an object, or what the heck is going on, and what should I write here? And typed build scripts are really great, and this could be a big Kotlin Pro if they will polish it up for a good quality. So now, Kotlin JavaScript. And let's take a look at what JetBrains team has announced and is already out in production, and what you can do with Kotlin and JavaScript. So first, we need to install Kotlin. And if we have a Mac, it's pretty simple, brew install Kotlin, and it's done. So now, we need to write a Kotlin class. So I have, not a Kotlin class, sorry, a Kotlin file. So now I have a file with a main function that has print line. And that's all, right? So to prove that I've written it, yep, here's a Kotlin file. Yep, I can zoom in. And I also kill my Slack. So it won't die. Damn you! Okay, it's dead. Hide. Okay.
Hello.
Yeah. Oh, everything's great? Yeah, okay. So, next step. We've written Kotlin file. Now we can begin compiling it to JavaScript. And to compile to JavaScript, the Kotlin file, actually what do you need to do? There is a Kotlin C-GS tool, the same as Kotlin compiler, but Kotlin compiler for JavaScript. And you pass two parameters. First one is the file that you want to compile to JavaScript, hello kotlin.kt, and the second one is the output directory. So the meta info we'll speak about a bit later. And another thing, to be more precise, we don't compile, we transpile, right? Do you know the difference between compilation and transpilation? Yes, okay, great. So to repeat, transpile means to convert one source code into another source code. We do not convert bytecode. Yeah, because Kotlin doesn't have a bytecode, because it's used Java bytecode. So now, what can we do? We've run this command, and this is what Kotlin compiler generated for us. So we can see there is a sample library.js file, sample library.meta.js file, then a library with a root package kgsm. So this one is actually a JavaScript implementation of our function, of our Kotlin file. This meta.js is runtime information for all the reflection magic that you can have in your Kotlin code. So if there is something fishy going on in your Kotlin, if you're using reflection, then there will be additional stuff in this meta.js. If you're not using reflection, it will be empty. And the third file, root package kgsm, this is actually Kotlin script for JavaScript that you can debug or something. Yeah, so I haven't figured it out. And you won't need it for sample cases. So, what next? We can look into the generated code. So this is actually what has been generated. First, we have a guard here on the top. If type of Kotlin equals undefined, then throw an error. What does it mean? That we have a Kotlin library in JavaScript that has all standard Kotlin language. And to load any scripts in Kotlin that was transpiled from Kotlin to JavaScript, we need this library. Well, and actually, this library is inside NPM already. So you can grab it through NPM, put it in your package.json, you'll get it working. When you have it, this is the next step. So it creates a sample library object, a function, and inside it, it creates those methods like function main. And defines a module. So Kotlin JavaScript can support three types of modules, CommonJS and something else. But if you're not using modules or you don't know about modules, but you're using them, it's okay, you won't have to deal with them. So right now the important part is this, that actually we have JavaScript code. And now let's see how we can use it. So we generated this out sample library JS script, and in node modules we have we've downloaded KotlinJS through node modules. So right now I don't have like smart gulp compilation or I don't know webpack compilation. I just hard-coded it here. So when I do npm install, I get the KotlinJS file and use it with a relative path. So this file already is a working thing. We can look into it here. So here is a Kotlin file with a print. I can, where is my, okay. Let's change something. Hello GDG. Then we'll go into console. So here we can put output, let's do it GDG library, meta-inf. Here is an additional parameter, as you can see, that I'm using source maps. So we could debug it with a common source map API, like we do with TypeScript or with CoffeeScript or with other stuff that transpiles into JavaScript. So you will actually be able to debug both from the Chrome debugger and from IntelliJ or whatever other IDE you're using. And here, I just provide the hello Kotlin KT file. Let's transpile, sorry. So now we have it ready. Now we can take a look at our directory again. There's a lot of stuff here. Why a lot of stuff? Because I was playing around and the package is a bit dirty. But here is the GDG library that we got. We have GDG library GS, we have GDG library GS.map, the source map, GDG library method.js, and the folder. We can go into the folder and we'll see this KGSM Kotlin JavaScript source map file. If we'll take a look at meta.gn file, just for curiosity's sake, and I think I haven't started the recording. Okay, did you start it? Great. Let's take a look. So this is the method info file. So some kind of module, some kind of hash. No idea what this is. If we look into the GS file, again we see the similar picture. Here the function changed. If we'll have multiple functions, then it will just translate it here. So, okay. Let's look into source maps. Here is a source map. Yeah. So KT mapping. So the GS file from which to which file it maps. Okay. So now we'll go into the index.html. We have it here. Let's run it in this browser. We run it. Now we can go to developer tools, see console. Sorry, I have it cached. Sorry, I have it. Okay. Because here it's a sample library. GDG. Yep. And here we have the JavaScript code.
Show the sources.
Okay. No, the sources are the same. So we have this KotlinJS library, the huge one that we got from the NPM. It's really huge.
What about source maps?
Source maps. Source map detected. More. If you add okay, I don't know right now how to actually enable those source maps. Haven't worked them quite a while in Chrome. Someone knows how to enable them? So what should I do right now in Chrome with them?
Never show.
Yep, that's the correct answer. Okay.
Every time it works, you don't have to do anything.
Yeah. Yeah,
Maybe
but
you should start debugging or something.
but I shouldn't debug here. I should debug in Kotlin. It's
It's still more readable than vanilla JavaScript, so it's
yeah. Okay. And basically, the idea here is that this main function with arguments is evaluated on start in JavaScript. Yeah, so it's the same as we would have written bracket function, brackets something in it, self-running function or whatever how it's called in JavaScript. So this will be run on start. Okay. We can do additional functions. Let's look at another function, and now we can compile it through Gradle. So it's a bit slow. Why it is slow? Because my MacBook is a bit slow right now. It's full of everything. There's IntelliJ, there's Chrome, and I have only 4 GB of RAM sadly. So the Gradle script compiled something, but right now here comes the interesting part that I have 2 Kotlin files. One is hello Kotlin, second one is factorial Kotlin. If I'll open it, you can see that there is some function and an inline function. And also, if in IntelliJ, we can already see here that there are source maps. Yep. For those that were generated with console. So this out folder is the one that was generated with command line invocation. So by default, Gradle will put all the classes into classes here. Yeah. So we have this. This is actually outdated. Yeah. So it doesn't exist already. Okay, so what's the difference? If we look into the JS file, we'll see that it's much larger. Why it's larger? Because right now it took all the Kotlin files and tried to glue them in one JavaScript. So here we can see the main function. Here we can see another function. And here we see, what do we see? Function with odds, and this is the inline function. Yeah, so for those who are familiar with Kotlin inline function, this is how it transpiles. So if you have enums, if you have any other Kotlin constructs, it will transpile it a bit differently. So if you're interested, we can try to take a look. And now, since we used those inline functions, something should appear here. I think no, okay. It didn't. So now, if we'll run the same stuff, just let's change the relative URL, relative path. Where's my index? So now instead of out GG library, we'll be using build slash classes slash main slash KotlinJS main. Yeah. I'm refreshing it. Let's look into console. Here we can see only hello GTG. Yeah. Why? Because it's a main function. So when transpiling is happening, there is this KotlinJS library, and it runs the main. If we'll try to execute this another function, we can try. I'm not convinced that it will work, but let's hope so. No, it doesn't work. Okay.
Maybe the name is different.
Which name?
Like Kotlin. Maybe symbols, like got escaped or something like that.
Yeah, because it auto completes. I haven't KotlinJS main. No, okay, sources. What can we see here? Build. Yeah, but it's a function. Okay, it's a function. Okay, so somehow we can get into here and invoke the methods. Sadly, the documentation isn't that great, and actually right now, if you look into the documentation, it's about this big. And there is getting started with Gradle, IntelliJ, and that's all. Yeah. So you should dig a bit to understand how it should work.
Yes.
Yep.
Could you access DOM API from Kotlin code right now? Like set the page title or something like this?
So you would be able to access JavaScript window object, and through window object you can get access to DOM, I think, yes?
Yeah, and how could you access a window?
I don't know, but I have a slide for this. Yeah, so let me go through 2 slides. Second one is help. So here we can see different type of options for Kotlin compiler. So we can use the source map I've shown you, the target, so we can choose what version of ECMAScript we want to use here, API version, language version, and we also can glue as an output prefix or postfix, so before the JavaScript file or after JavaScript file, some kind of information. Then this is the Gradle plugin to actually get it working. So all you need is to have a Gradle plugin with the latest version, and you should have the dependency stdlib.js. So for Kotlin you need stdlib, here you need JS, and for simple Kotlin you apply Kotlin plugin, here you apply Kotlin for JavaScript plugin. They say that all language features that is present in Kotlin 1.1 works in JavaScript, so we can believe them. And regarding DOM, regarding your question, so they have a TS to KT transpiler, which transforms TypeScript type definitions into Kotlin code. So any library that is actually on the definitelytype.org that is available in TypeScript can be used in Kotlin. So I would say that you can go home, take whatever DOM manipulating library like JavaScript or jQuery, then convert it to Kotlin and take a look. I think it should work. Yes?
A strangely specific question. Have you tried to use TS to KT on the Node TypeScript definitions?
So on their small blog post, they say that Node.js works. So it should work theoretically. Yeah? Because they said that it will work for any type definitions for any web project or Node.js modules.
Okay.
Yeah? Because if we just think a bit, why it shouldn't work? So we are yes, and probably it won't work for something because of a bug, but you don't actually run Kotlin, so no problems there. I don't know whether they have implemented like Kotlin compilation and linting checks, because if there is a window, maybe it's present in some kind of Kotlin library, like Kotlin standard JavaScript, and there is a window class. We can actually take a look. So we have it in the class path. We can import here, import Kotlin dot. How to import standard library? Who is the Kotlin guru? Okay. Yeah. So I would presume that this is something related to the question we're asking.
I think it's from Java API. It's like basic class.
You think? We can take a look.
This is the window type.
Oh.
Sadly, I forgot what is the call that you actually
Fine.
do to get the actual window, but this is the type it returns.
How much of the standard Java library available? So I think maybe
Everything that they say that everything you can write in Kotlin, you can transpile to JavaScript.
Yeah, but like Java days, Java time instance, stuff like that. So, or you should like use only.
Yep. Yeah, we got it. Here we have KotlinJS. So let's take a look.
Yeah, but it will be a JavaScript date type.
Yes. So if we import,
The question was about Java standard library.
can we import a Java util? No? No? Okay.
Actually, it's a problem if you want to share code between server and client, JavaScript client. It's the same issue with ScalaJS. Yeah, the guy I know. So in the end, you end up with model which is like rather simple with longs instead of dates and so.
Yeah. So basically, the good idea for usage of such stuff would be the same as Google used for inbox application. Yeah. So the inbox application, the alternative to Gmail, is done with Java completely on all the platforms, on iOS, on web, and on Android. How do they do it? Because they have the core module, they transpile it to Objective-C with Java to Objective-C transpiler. They use it natively in Android, the Java common part, and then transpile the Java part to JavaScript with Google Web Toolkit. So the same could be here, that you can have the common logic with all the main objects in Kotlin. You can use it in Spring Boot with Kotlin. You can use it on client side on Android, and then you can transpile the core library into JavaScript and use it through the JavaScript API.
Yeah, it sounds cool, but in the end you end up with like the least common denominator of all the platforms for your core part. So
No, you can do much more from the client part because you're just using a dependency. So you can wrap it in whatever things you want.
So your core part would consist only of pointers without any logic?
With all the business logic.
But what if your business logic requires like fancy stuff with dates? Like no dates is my favorite example. But, like calendars and dates stuff is pretty
You'll use these dates, and then you just need to translate one date into another when you pass it to this black box.
Yeah, but which date classes would you use in your core part? Because you don't have any.
You would probably have to interface to each specific date if we want to use the date, but most other use cases can be covered in Kotlin only.
How could you use a date in Kotlin? Java date. You can use strings. Aha.
Those classes are not only like wrappers around values, but they also have like really complicated logic. You could also have libraries for like base 64 encoding and stuff like that, and you could also use it in your core part. So.
I'm sure there's a link for that.
Yeah, but there is not.
Yeah, this is.
In your core part, you could use only stuff which available on all the platforms. So if all the platforms support long primitive types, you could use long primitive types. You could use like additions of numbers and primitive arithmetic, but not the complex stuff from the standard library.
So right now, I think how they handled it, that here we're using Kotlin stdlib.js. And normally we would use Kotlin stdlib. And maybe in stdlib they have classes for wrappers for Java, and stdlib.js they have wrappers for JavaScript. But those are almost the same. Yeah. Okay, so that's all from my side. And thank you.